Hey, it's Phil from Euroheat, and people try to build sustainable homes every day, but very often they're not actually sustainable at all. They're not energy efficient and they're not comfortable to live in. And let me tell you why. Now, it's really common for people that are building sustainable homes to do a lot of research. They look into good building materials to use, different products, sort of new products that might be on the market that could have a big effect on their building. And a lot of the time what happens is people fall in love with either one or two or three of these particular products. It might be a new method or a new wall system or a new way of roofing or integrating solar panels into your roofing so you don't actually need one layer of solar panels and one layer of roof that is combined, etc., etc. They get sold on these things because either there's been a really good salesman that has said, look, our product is really efficient, it's the best, it's going to make your house really good, or someone they know has told them about something and they've said, yep, look, if you put yogurt on your roof, your efficiency is going to increase by 22%. And sometimes they just read articles on the internet, and as we all know, the internet's not always 100% reliable, unfortunately. And so there's a couple of big mistakes that people make. First of all is they believe in the broad claims of efficiency, and I call this the efficiency fallacy, which we talk about in a different video. But basically there are unsubstantiated claims where people say it's our product is 22% more efficient, or it's going to make your house 22% more efficient. But when you look into it, it's relative to what, how are they measuring this, what is this in comparison to? It doesn't actually make sense, and it's really unscientific. But the biggest mistake is that they fall in love with one of these products. Let's say it might be a new type of insulation, and they think, okay, we're going to put this in and our house is going to be super efficient after this. They spend the extra $20, $30, $50,000 on investing in this particular product to include it into their new sustainable house. And then they move in, and after the first year they realize that the house isn't as energy efficient as they wanted, and it's not as comfortable as they wanted, and they're confused and pissed off because they're like, we invested so much money but it's not behaving like we want. And so now they're stuck with a house. It's a brand new house, they only built it a year ago, and they're finding that they might have to actually invest another $20, $30 or $50,000 to make the house as it should be, energy efficient or sustainable. And so what we recommend is just focusing on the fundamentals, because let's face it, some new technology that's probably unproven, or that some salesman is spruiking, is not the panacea. It's not the fix-all for your building. You have to consider every single element of the house and make sure that all of it works together. It's like a chain. The weakest link in the chain, or a chain is only as strong as the weakest link. We recommend focusing on the fundamentals, which are shading, so making sure there's not excessive sunlight going into the building during summer, but in winter that you do have good sunlight coming in, so solar passive. Ventilation, good glazing in windows, good level of insulation, especially in the roof. That's where the majority of heat losses and heat gains come in most buildings. And good ventilation, to make sure that you can take advantage of nature providing free heating and cooling. And one surefire way to do this is to do software modeling on your house. So your building design is precisely input into a special software, then the exact orientation of the house, and this way the software knows exactly how the sun's going to be shining on your house throughout the day, 365 days a year. It knows what the external temperatures are like on average and what the extremes are like 365 days a year. And from this, it can run almost 10,000 simulations on what's going to happen to your house throughout the year. And upon analyzing all the data from the simulation, you can then determine whether you have enough insulation, whether you have enough shading, whether your ventilation is good. And then from this, you can make a good investment decision into your house. So you're not actually just guessing, let's put heaps of insulation, let's put 100 millimeters of insulation everywhere, that's going to do the trick. Whereas with this software modeling, we can say, okay, well, 100 mils might be overkill. You can put half that amount in, let's say 50 millimeters of insulation, and this is going to do just right. So you're not going to over-capitalize, over-invest, but you're still going to get a really good result. So in summary, it's not about the individual products, the new things that come onto the market, all the hype that comes with this, and it's not about what, say, your neighbor might say or some guy down the street. It's about the science and the physics and the data. And so the best way to actually know that your house is going to perform as it should is to do this software modelling, have the hard data, and make good, sound decisions based on this data. So if you would like some help with creating a sustainable house, with doing software modelling, making sure that it is as naturally energy efficient as possible, give us a call at Euroheat. We'd love to give you a hand with this, and also with perhaps integrating some other heating and cooling systems into your building to make sure that it is comfortable all year round.